everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Angela and this is My Precious Yarnery. So today we're going to do a tutorial on this sweater. It is a hooded sweater. Just love it. Now, I used a 4 medium weight yarn. What yarn I used was Caron Jumbo Twirl. Now, I don't know, I think you can still get some colors in it. This is about a large. So what I used is 2 full rows, 4 skeins, and part of another one. Not quite half. In this you get over, you get 12 ounces, 340 grams, 578 yards, 528 meters. So I approximately used, for this size, probably about 300 yards. But that's approximately, guys. So for the measurements, I am going to just tell you how I measure things. I don't know. This is custom. So for the measurements, I take my back piece. When I do my back piece, this is done in 3 different pieces, and then I add the arms in the round. For the back piece, my largest size, wherever, hips, wherever you are the largest, that's how big I make my chain. It's any odd number for chain. I explain that in the tutorial. And I'm going to try and put everything in the description box. What I did, what I used, and yeah. So that's the back piece. And then I'll show you how I figure out what side pieces I use. For the arms, I just measure around the arms for my arm opening, for up here, for my arm opening. Measure that. For the arms, I just keep trying it on to make sure I get where I want it. Now, if I want it 3/4, if I want it to my wrist, if I want it to here, so I can put a trim on it. I did not put a trim on it. I thought it looked just pretty, just the way it was. So that's how I did it. Very simple, very easy. What else did I do? That's basically it. I think I explained everything in the tutorial. If not, you know how to get a hold of me. And sometimes it takes me a couple of days, right, guys? So I will get back to you. Just sometimes it takes a little bit. You can use any 4-weight yarn for this particular pattern. I was just been eyeing this up and I've been wanting to use it. So I hope you enjoy the tutorial. I think that's it. I just want to make sure. And anything I did, I will put in the description below. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Bye. Hi, everyone. So you're going to need a hook, scissors, stitch markers, a tapestry needle to sew in your ends, a tape measure. You're going to need all this for this tutorial. So let's get started. Just put everything to the side. Oh, and you're going to need yarn. So I have my back piece done. And I have 1 front piece side panel done. Now, this doesn't mean anything right here, so I'll take that out. So for my back piece, I did 71. I chained 71. You're going to need an odd number for this pattern. So 71 I chained, and I did, sorry, you're going to hear the rooster. And then I did 53 rows up. So to get to how many side panels I needed, or how much my side panels, let me see if I can get this camera just better. It's crooked. We're not professional around here. I can give you that. So I measured my length, divided by 2, and I put my stitch marker in the center. And then I needed this part here to be like 4.5 inches wide. So I worked all that out. I didn't count anything, I just measured and winged it. Guys, we're winging it around here. I don't know where, that's what I do. You can see all my junk here. And then each side is about 8, almost 8.5, but not quite inches. And then I put my stitch markers in here to mark it, to make sure I knew where my where to do it. Then all I did was do my stitches and made sure it was an odd number that measured the same length that's here to here. That's all I did. Nothing fancy. I ended up with a stitch count of 25. As long as it's an odd number, it'll work out. And see, it worked. It works. So I'm going to show you how to do, I'm going to start my other, get this camera right. I'm going to start my other side, and it's a very easy pattern to do, and there's lots of texture. I love texture. Okay, let me come back and get my camera and all these wires out of here. Okay, so I hope that's better. So I do a slip knot and I chain 25. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. My yarn would cooperate, it would be just fabulous. Oh, okay, I'll come back when I have my 25. Okay, so I have my chain of 25. Now remember, this is my side panel. My back piece was 71 inches. So I turn mine over for those lumps. See, I like to work right in here. It just makes this edge much better, whether I do a trim or whatever. I just prefer it. You don't have to. So the second chain from the hook, you do 1 single crochet. And then the next 3 stitches, we're going to do a single crochet 3 together. So how you do that is you insert your hook, wrap your yarn, bring your yarn through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. You go into your next stitch, insert your hook, wrap your yarn, pull your yarn through. Now you have 3. And do it one more time in the next stitch. Wrap your yarn, pull your yarn through. You have 4. Wrap your yarn, go through all 4, and then do a chain. That's it. Make sure your chain's not too tight because you will be working into that. So your next, now you go right into this part right here. Right into where your last stitch. And you do single crochets 3 together. So you go into that one, go into your next chain, go into your next chain, and you got 4 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through, wrap your yarn, do a chain, and that's it. That's all you do. But make sure you go into that first stitch where you ended off. You go back into your stitch and then do the next 2 stitches, and that's your single crochets 3 together, and do a chain. And then you keep going all the way down. And I will meet you back here when you have 2 stitches left. Okay, so I have 2 chains left. So at the end, really sorry, he just doesn't know when to stop sometimes. You go into your last stitch that you worked in, and you do your chain 3, you do your single crochet 3 together. Your last one, you do not chain. What you do, so you do not put a chain in here. So what you do, oh, got a little knot. So what you do is you go into your last stitch and you put a single crochet, and that's your first row. And then how you keep going is you chain 1, turn, and in your first stitch right here you put, now this is your repeat row, guys, so this is what you're going to be doing for the remainder of your rows. So right into there you put a single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then you ignore the rest of that because you do not work into that one at all anymore. So you go right into your next one. So you work your single crochets 3 together in the next 3 stitches, and then you chain, and then you do it again. Now how I remember how I'm doing, if I've got everything lined up right, because sometimes, you know, I get a little excited and I go too fast and I need to go back. I always frog. So your first stitch that you work, like your last stitch that you work into, you bring that up. So that's your 2. Your second one is always your chain 1 stitch, and then you have 3, and then your last. So then you have 4. So always your second stitch is your chain 1 stitch, your second loop that you bring up, and then you chain 1, and then you keep doing that all the way to the end. It's very simple, guys. And then again, and it's a very fast stitch, even though it's a single crochet. It works up pretty fast. This yarn is not helping me though today. Okay, just keep going all the way down. It's very simple. And like I said, it's pretty fast. You just watch TV. As long as you get your second stitch is that chain 1, you're golden. Now, like I said, sometimes you got to make that chain 1 a little loose, not too loose, but a little loose, so you don't, because you have to work into it. And sometimes it's a little stiff. When you know, it is what it is. So you work your way all the way down until you have 2 stitches left. Okay, so I'm on my last 2. Now, it always hides. So that is a stitch, and then this stitch kind of here is also a stitch, but it's hiding. And sometimes that one is a little hard to get into. But you do your best, guys. That one, the second row of that last stitch is a little tough, but you get in it. And you do not chain 1, but you go back into that loop, that last stitch, and do a single crochet, chain 1, and turn. And I'll be right back. Okay, I think I got the knot out. So single crochet in that first stitch, and then work in the next 3 stitches. Do your single crochet, 3 single crochets together, chain 1, and do it again. See, that doesn't work out. sometimes, see right there, you'll notice that you will, nobody's perfect, guys. You'll notice you didn't do your chain 1, so you have to go back, which, you know, I told you, I do it all the time. And then my last stitch, of course it's going to be a little stiff again. And this is why I like having a point on the end of my hook. Well, maybe that will help me a little bit. Probably not. Look at that. And I know it doesn't look like it belongs, but that's it does. You just gotta get in there. And I usually don't have this much trouble, but of course, because I'm filming, that's when I have the trouble. Okay, I'm in. That's the one that's the hardest, guys. Once you get through that, you're good. And then go back in there, do a single crochet, because you're not gonna, at the end, you're not gonna do that chain 1. And then you chain 1, turn, and then you do a single crochet, and then you do your single crochet 3 together in the next 3 stitches, but always use the last stitch that you used, and you work your way all the way down. And once you get the hang of this stitch, it is really easy. It's just basically single crochets and chains. But it's beautiful, and I love a texture stitch. I go out of my way to try and find them. And if I find one I like, I use it for a lot of things. Okay, we're almost at the end again. I want to show you that it's not going to be so difficult like the last one. One more, full one, that's, okay, so, I know it looks like there's only 1 stitch left, that one right there, but you're going to use this one, of course, and then your second one, and then you're going to go into there. That will be your 3rd one, so, and it won't be as hard as the last one. See? So you got your 4 loops. Do not chain 1. Go into that last stitch again and do a single crochet, chain 1 and turn, and then a single crochet in the 1st stitch. And then you carry on with your pattern. Okay. So I'm going to finish my 53 rows, and then I will be back to show you how to sew it together. Okay guys, so here is my sweater, my bottom and 2 sides. Now I already have the things in to show you, the stitch markers. So from the top to about 7 inches down for my sweater. Now you just measure your arms and see how wide this needs to be for you. I have another stitch marker there. So I'm going to sew from there to there on both sides, Now the top, this is the top. We put stitch marker on the corners, on each of the corners. And from about on your neckline, this is going to be your neckline, from your right here to about 3 inches. So there to there. You're not going to sew that. So make sure to put a stitch marker there. This is going to be part of your hood. You're going to sew from here all the way over to this corner. Do not sew in here. And I'll be back to show you the hood. Okay, so I have all my everything sewn together, all my ends in, and I have the right side facing me. So I'm going to do, and this is the top of the cardigan, and this is, so your arm goes in here, this is the top of your shoulder. I want you to face it out like that, and then you're going to do a standing single crochet. So how you do that is you make a slip knot, and you're going to go into your first stitch and do a standing single crochet. So all you have to do is insert your hook, wrap your yarn, pull your yarn through, wrap your yarn and pull it through, just like a single crochet. Now we're going to do our pattern. Now I made sure I put the top of my sides the right way, so everything, so my pattern will start just like that. And yeah, this is your hood. So then I go all the way down, my 3 single crochets together, and my chain 1. I'm going to do it all the way down. Now, when you get here, when I get here, there may be a little finagling you have to do. You know, we just wing it around here. Just fudge it, guys. It's not a big deal. This part, you'll hardly ever see this little bit of a part. Of course, this is tight. But that's okay. We got this. And then, so you see where I sewed it. So that was my first, like my last stitch I did right here, and I inserted my hook. There's 2 more stitches. I'm just going to miss this stitch and just go right into that stitch. So that keep my, hopefully that'll keep everything. You won't even be able to tell. And then that one that I missed wasn't the second, like it wasn't your chain 1 space where you want your second single crochet to work into, your second loop that you bring up. So you keep your stitch count, and you do the same thing over here. And I'll meet you over here and we'll show you what happens there. Okay, so I made it all the way over to the starting of this side. So let's see how it works out. And you want your second one to be this. So I think we should just put another one right in there. So that way you don't reach over too far, which you will find, and it all works out in the wash, guys. See? All good, guys. And this is how you're going to keep doing your hood. All the way down. And we're at the end now. Oh, my yarn split a little bit. Fix that. Single crochet, chain 1, and turn. Now, single crochet, and then you just keep going with the pattern until how many rows you go. I will be back to let you know how many rows I do. Each yarn will be different, and whatever you're comfortable with, how many you want, where you want it to sit on. You know, remember, you're also going to be putting a trim around the hood too. So I will let you know, and I'll be back, guys. Okay, so I ended up doing 37 rows for the hood, and when I cut it off, I made sure it was a long string, because now when you're going to sew, you're going to take your top of your hood and make sure you sew on the inside of your hood. So I'm going to just put some stitch markers in. Let's save that one. So when I sew it, I'm sewing on the inside of the hood. And then I don't like the big point of the hood. Now this will go longer because I'm going to put, I'll put a thing on it, you know. So what I do is I fold it down, that corner down. Once I sew it all together, I'll fold it down and I'll sew right through here, right onto the other side, and that way I won't get this point on the other side. So yeah, more like that. So just take it and fold it in, just the corner, and then you don't have to put stitch markers in. You can figure that out. Okay, so, and then I'll use this string because I made a long enough string at the end to sew it, so less ends. Okay, so let me show you how I did my sleeves. Now I start it off, and I'm going to do it from here. Now this is the outside. Let's see, what is it? It's the outside. Yeah. And I am going to have to do 42 rows for my sleeve. Now, I won't have a cuff on this or anything. Now, if you want a different kind of sleeve, you're more than welcome to do it. I want to match my pattern up. So, how I do is I do a standing single crochet. Standing single crochet, 3 together, so that's not right. So what I do is I insert my hook, bring the yarn through, just like that, and then I go to the next, because I'm going to do a standing single crochet, 3 together. Just like that, wrap it around, pull it through, and then chain 1. Now I'm going to put a stitch marker there so I know where I started, just like that. And then I'm going to just do my pattern, but I'm going to work in wherever I can to get it going. All the way around. And do that all the way around, not too tight, until you hit the other side. And it's just working the same pattern that you've been working on throughout your whole pattern. So you'll have, your arms will match. It looks like now it looks like I'm working like, but I'm working on the side. It looks like I'm doing, see these, I'm working on the side, not straight up and down, but it gives me exactly where I need to go to make it look right for my sleeves. Work that all the way around, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay. Okay, so I worked all the way around. Now there's where I put my stitch marker. Now I'm going to join it in my that first single crochet where I did my 3 together, but not a single crochet. You know what I mean? Like it's a single crochet, 3 together. I'm going to slip stitch it, chain 1, and turn. Now, the only thing different about when I do my sleeves, I do not do a single crochet there. So I always make sure, even when I'm doing the body part, when I do this stitch, my second part of my stitch will be that chain one. So right where I slip stitch, I start my single crochet 3 together. Then I got 4, and then I chain 1. And see, now you work your pattern. Same thing you've been doing. The only thing different about the arms is how you start it and finish it. Because you're working in a round, it's a little bit different than working a flat. So you just work your 3 single crochets together, 3 single crochet together, chain 1, and work your way all the way around, and I'll meet you on the other side to show you how I join it again. Okay, so I'm about to put my last single crochet 3 together. So I'm going to put it together and chain 1, and then in the top of your single crochet, that's where you join. Chain 1 and turn. And where you turned, chain 1 and turn, you're still going to start your single crochet right in there where you are. You just got to get your hook in there, just like that. And then there's your chain 1, and then there. And then work your way around, and don't worry about these holes. We can fix that with when you sew in your ends. It's only going to happen for the first one, but because soon when I make my way all the way around from here, I will be joining in there. So let me do one more round and I'll come back and show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm on my last one. Now this is where we slip stitched it, this last hole right here, but that doesn't matter, we're still going to use it. Oh, put it in the wrong spot. So this is my last single crochet 3 together, chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch it in the first part of your single crochet. See? And you won't have any more holes. This one we can fix when we sew in our end from right here. Okay guys, I'm going to be doing 42 rows. Now just keep trying it on and see where you need to do it. Now I won't be putting a cuff on this, but you can. So if you want to stop when it's here, that's fine. I stopped when it was here. Well, maybe a little bit lower, right here on my wrist, and then that way I didn't do a cuff because I like the way this looks and it fits good. Okay guys, I will be back to show you the trim. Okay, and so now that I got both sleeves done and I have to work on doing my bottom trim, so what I'm going to do is just do a simple trim. So I'm going to connect my yarn, find my corner. This is the right side facing me. Connect my corner connect it in my corner. Let's see. Yep, this way. Sorry, had to make sure. Okay. Just with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this, we're going to turn it a bit because I want to work in the back loops. And in the second chain from your hook, you're going to single crochet, and you're going to single crochet all the way down. So now you'll always have 10 stitches that you work with. So that one was a turning chain, so that's why you did 11. So now you always will have 10. So this is the one that's, the first row is always a little tedious. After that, it's nothing. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more, 10. Okay, so then now you're going to slip stitch the next 2 stitches. Now, this is the bottom of my work, so I can't really, I have to make my own stitches. So just make sure you do it evenly. So one there and one there. Chain 1 and turn. Now, for the rest, that's, you're doing that for the rest of the trim all the way around the bottom of it. You're going to now do single crochets in the back loop, 10, like in your 10 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's this one. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So now we're going to work in the back loops only. So in the back loops, single crochet. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, sometimes I have maybe put, if I'm doing a really long trim, I'll put a stitch marker in the first one, the one that is attached to the sweater, just to give me help, because sometimes I just keep counting. Instead of just keep counting, I just put it there, so then I won't have to worry about it and keep counting. Trying to get some yarn here. Okay, so you got your 10 stitches. You're going to chain 1, turn your work, and then working in the back loops only. Now you can make this longer or shorter. You don't have to have it as long as I want it. You can just, how many ever stitches you make, that's how many single crochets you keep doing. The bottom of the skein, so, and I've been moving it, so now it's all knotty. Okay. Work your way all the way up. And every so often, just double check to make sure you have the right amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So then you're going to slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, or wherever, nice, and do it evenly. So right here, they do have some holes in it that I've been following. So let's see, do this slip stitch. So I just try to follow these little holes and keep it as even as I can throughout. So then chain 1, turn your work, and then single crochet in the back loop, and that's it for your trim. I will come back when I'm done the bottom trim, and we'll go over how we do the side trims. and I will be back. Okay, so I've made it all the way around the bottom of the trim of the sweater. I have one stitch left, so what I'm going to do is only slip stitch once in my corner right there. If I have two, I would slip stitch twice, but I only have one. So, and then turn my work, and then just go up once, and then fasten off. If I had two, I could go up one and then down again, but I only have one. So that's how you do the end. Very simple. And then you're almost done. So once you get, fasten it off. So chain one, and my scissors, and fasten it off. That's my bottom done. Now I have to do the around. Now I just do the same. I'm going to do the same all the way around. And I'm going to do around the hood too. So you got to go all the way around both your sides, around your hood, and then your other side of the sweater. So once you do that, then you're done. So I'm going to figure out where I have to do this. I'm just going to go right into here, slip stitch, and you can do a different thickness. I'm going to stay to the same thickness, so I'm going to do another 11 chains, and then I'll have, so it'll be as wide as this here. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you soon. Bye everyone.